In this video, we're gonna talk about how to grow your solar sales during a pandemic and how to sell even during a pandemic. Coming up. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in once again to another solar video on the channel. As you can see from the title of this video, we're gonna be addressing an issue that has been on for about a year and a half or more. And who knows when it's gonna end, okay? So to be best prepared in a situation like this, we need to make sure we have a few things handled. So if we are in a situation that we get a shutdown or a lockdown again, it doesn't hurt our business, okay? If we're in solar. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, make sure you do by smashing the button down below. And if you like the content of this video, make sure you also give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend. You know what the fee is. Share it with a friend, okay? If we deliver value, it's a simple transaction. If we don't share it with anyone, all right? But I'm gonna share with you 3 simple concepts in this video. They're gonna help you a lot. And again, we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught, all right? And so in this video, what I wanna do is show you basically the 3 things that I would do if I had to sell and set up my business in a way that is operationally sound to sell and progress and succeed even during a pandemic. The first thing I would do is I would make sure that I can actually first sell remotely, because if we are in a lockdown, people get in a panic mode, they don't want to see anyone come in their house. Not everyone, but as you know, obviously some people can be a little bit conservative and they limit their contacts with other people outside of their household and, relative, friends, whatever. And so, but they're still open. Those are still prospects that we can sell to. And so you need to make sure that you can actually sell remotely, okay? You need to sell remotely. The way you can do that, pretty simple. If you haven't already done that, you can use Zoom, Google Meet, or Google Hangout, and the telephone. And I already have videos on the subject, so if you want to check them out, make sure that you click the link above. And also, how you sell remotely. Obviously, as you know, there's 3 ways you can sell remotely: Google Hangout, Google Meet, and the telephone, all right? Now, again, I'm not gonna go into too much detail about what's the right way of selling. We've seen a lot of friction when selling over Zoom or Google Meet, simply because some people don't have the capacity to join the meeting and it could add a friction to the sale. So we use just the telephone, okay? Most of our successful clients are using the telephone, all right? But you need to have the ability, whatever suits you, all right? But you need to have the ability to sell remotely nonetheless, okay? Now, the second thing you need to do, if you want to be thriving during what most people would consider a stressful time, right? That will be a period of growth for you that are taking action. That will be, you need to make sure that you have an adequate lead generation process, okay? And the reason why I say that is because if you're used to going out there and door knocking or relying on referrals, that could definitely slow down if everyone's under a lockdown. Now, again, I don't want to prepare you to get into a lockdown. Obviously, no one wants any of that stuff. But if shit hits the fan, then you want to make sure that you're operationally sound and you're able to actually grow your organization and continue to grow as you've always been. So you need to make sure you have a lead generation process. Now, if you don't know what we do, we specialize in solar lead generation and solar sales. Again, if you want the exact process as far as how we get people from zero to hero and how we get them a ton of leads that they could sell right on the phone, then make sure you schedule a call down below. You either get on the call with myself or somebody on my team. Promise you, this is not a sales call. If we're not able to work with you and give you a strategy directly that we can employ in your business, then we'll simply be, straight up and honest with you and won't waste any of your time. All right, back to this. So you need to have a lead generation process. Doesn't matter what this is. You could have a dialer, you could have a they call it dialer, phone burner. You can do like cold calling and stuff like that. That could be a way of you generating leads. You could go into Facebook groups. You can do a lot of things to generate leads online. You can have an automated like text message campaign going out and email campaign going out. You can have an actual Facebook or YouTube campaign going out that is producing high quality leads on a day-to-day basis, okay? That you can then contact, get in touch with, and schedule an appointment so you can close. Now, once you've figured out, once you're able to actually sell remotely and you have a lead generation process, then you want to make sure that you are set up and ready to go when it comes to selling in multiple states. So if your state, why do I say that? Because if your state, for example, you happen to live in a state, if you're in a state that, you know, COVID doesn't really bother you and whatever, right? That's cool, that's good. But if you live in a state that it's heavily hit by COVID, and when I say COVID, I mean COVID restrictions, or you're under a lockdown, and actually applies to most people in the state, then you need to make sure that you can actually sell in other states from where you live in, okay? So sell in multiple states. Set up in other states, okay? Very important. And it's honestly, I mean, the best thing you can do for yourself and your business is make sure that you think 1 or 2 or 3 steps ahead, okay? Don't wait until push comes to shove and you're already, you know, deep into it. You don't know what's going on, right? Because initially we had a lot of people that were knocking on our door saying like, hey, help me out, like business going down the drain, and it's not, it's been nothing but hell. Like obviously we're not able to go out the doors, we're not able to produce sales, and so business is definitely not only not progressing, but it's actually going down, okay? They've had to undersize their business, they've had to fire employees and all that stuff. And so that is not what you want to see as a business owner, right? And so those are the 3 things that you need to make sure that you have, right? Which again, are pretty straightforward, but we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. And so sell remotely, have a lead generation process that works for you, that you can actually feed your sales guys with, and be able to have a setup where you sell in multiple states, or have the ability to sell in multiple states, okay? Now I did a video, I think, about this recently, about the low-hanging fruit states. There's such thing as a low-hanging fruit state. And by that, I mean a state that is basically an underserved market that you can go in and literally clean up. Okay, those are usually states that have not been hit as hard for the past decade with solar ads, and so when you run a solar ad, it's a lot better accepted than if you run in, for example, the sunshine states. Okay, and a lot of people think, well, that's crazy, but trust me when I say this, it definitely works. All right, the states that you would least think of selling in will be the states that will make you the most money. That's what I mean by the low-hanging fruit state. Be able to put in, you know, a very little amount and get a very, very good bang for your buck. All right, so that's it for today's video. I appreciate you staying all the way through if you watched it all the way to the end. And if you like the content of this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and subscribe. Stay well, sell more solar, and I'll see you again on the next one. Take care.